The fast action bonus is that we're putting together a 5-part deep dive training on everything you need to handle the NAR settlement and negotiating with buyers, negotiating with listing agents, negotiating with sellers, how to present all of that, all the forms required, all the presentations required, all the scripting required, the mindset required, and there's mastermind sessions involved in that as well. So 5 hours of deep dive training just on the NAR settlement. That training, that 5-part series, will earn you tens of thousands of dollars. You just gotta do the work. All right, now we should be good to go in this place. Really, what I want to dig in today, and this is kind of unpacking, what I've learned over a 18-year journey in real estate sales, and what just over 11 years serving this industry at a very high level through real estate B school, which is essentially just business coaching to real estate agents. I'm calling this a business growth challenge. I really want to call some of you up to build your business or think about your business a different way. And the question I have and the guiding sort of sentiment of the time that we're going to spend together today is I want you to ask yourself, do you have a clear roadmap in place to take advantage of the current market? So think about the current market with uncertainty and shortage of inventory, the NAR settlement changes hitting as we speak. Just got an email from my MLS that the field was taken out today. The buyer comp field in the MLS was taken out today. So all heck is going to break loose, some agents would think. But the current market, and is that roadmap that you have in place, will it allow you to grow your business and wealth despite what's going on in the market? Some of you come to a training like this where maybe not just this year, but years you've felt like you're just spinning your wheels. You're not that much farther ahead than you were, 3 to 5 years ago. Some of you might be feeling like you're failing on multiple fronts, right? So you're balancing, work with family commitments, with maybe, you've got a spouse or other commitments, or some of you are just easily distracted. It's an interesting time with information overload, the 24/7 news cycle, social media. Some of you are squirrel chasers. I'm a recovered squirrel chaser. This is all the distractions in your business that take you off the core focus of building a business and making lots of money. And then every one of us feel like there are too few hours in a day. Make no mistake though, when you hover up here, go into the clouds for a second and look down on the industry. Consumers are record level debts. All household savings have gone to zero. The macroeconomic environment is not good. We're in a 12-year run of the real estate cycle. So not to be the sort of bearish sentiment here, but we are due for a major economic shift, which will impact the housing markets most likely. And on top of that, all of the uncertainty around the NAR settlement and buyer commissions and all of that, and all the vendors out there, the Zillows, the folks that are trying to get in between us and our customers, including this class settlement, with NAR. We don't have any friends, and so you're probably asking yourself, is it even worth it? Painting this grim picture for all of you. And by the end of the time we have together today, I'm going to show you very specifically how I scaled my business and how you can too in the worst of markets. I'm going to go through the 4 pillars. This is going to help a lot of you get really clear on where your business is lacking right now. And then I'm going to show you how to swipe the entire system and guarantee success levels. Not a whole lot, if you're sort of new to my world, I take a lot of pride in roles outside of real estate. So being a father and a husband, and I did figure out a way. My first full year in real estate, I sold 44 homes. Handful of years later, all through the Great Recession years, I 10x my business, but I was able to get out of the grind of the real estate transaction, got down to 1 day a week, 5,000 plus families served, thousands of agents at this point, help them scale their agents through Real Estate B School. I've succeeded financially and I've got an awesome schedule. But make no mistake, I've made all the mistakes. I left a cozy corporate job. Anders is like maybe one year old, hopefully oblivious, to me not being present as a dad at that time. Kendall came in April 2010, so a few years later. And this is me ruining a family vacation. Trust me, honey, I have a plan. This is going to work out perfectly. More importantly, though, I was driven by a why. Without getting into the back story, I was motivated to not have what I had as a kid. A lot of chaos, a lot of uncertainty, no financial stability whatsoever. And so as you look at your current business and your life, you need to really solidify. And this is a bit of a homework. You're not going to be able to just think of it, but what is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Mine has changed over the years. It started with just to create a lifestyle for my family that we never thought was possible because me and my wife did not come from a lot. And this is an older picture of the kids. They're 14 and 16 now. But this is what I was driving for. And this is like the pretty version. It's not always this, don't believe all the, those pretty pictures that people post. But I was really fighting for just creating a life with my family. And Real Estate B School was born out of all of that, not a conscious decision to start a coaching company, but a lot of folks were struggling in the same ways that I had, and the traditional coaching methods out there were not solving those problems. So I can tell you that there is hope. I've done a lot of good, bad, and ugly in my journey. The goal here is to put you on a path to be able to increase your net worth systematically, take more time off, and ultimately put first things first in your life. We've been at this for, like I said, 11 plus years at this point. Our members have done probably 1 million buyer and seller consultations. These numbers, I went through them and I think they're conservative. At least 250,000 families served, and I was probably closer to 100 billion worth of real estate. But we've helped folks at a high level, and they decided to play a very different game in their real estate business. This is worth a screenshot if you have the ability to do it. There are lead generation, lead conversion, inside sales, outside sales, client care, all of this stuff, your past client program. And these are the trigger points that the most successful members that I've worked with in our inner circle, in our coaching programs, have decided just to play a different game and look at the business holistically. My approach was different as well. 2007, I only worked 10 months. I left my corporate job early March 2007. First full year was 2008, 44 transactions. I brought on an admin in 2008, 2009. End of that year, I brought on my first buyer agent. Maybe a couple buyer agents the next year, 118, 178, 248. January 2012, I did one of those 248 transactions, then 312, 453. Got down to 1 day a week in 2013, and all the way through November 2020, where I exited my real estate sales business. So a very deliberate approach to growing the business and selling more homes, but also a deliberate approach to living my life 24/7 in those early days. I was going to put, like, as a joke, 2007 was 8 days a week. But 24/7, in my first couple of years in real estate, ultimately I was able to crack the code, delegate, elevate, build systems, where I was 1, 2 days a week, 2013, 14, and beyond. And I also cracked the code on, my first 10 months in real estate, I netted about $20 an hour, just under $20 per hour. The next year I took home about $100 per hour, then 150, 250, 500. Then I went to, the 250 to 500 was cool. The 500 to 1,000 was cool. I doubled it again. Then the 1,000 to 2,000. And then I stopped counting at $3,000 per hour. So very deliberate and intentional, sell more homes, not work 7 days a week, and make an unreasonable amount of money in a reasonable amount of time. And I took the same systems, and I'm going to go through the 4 core pillars. My first agent was Chris Goodwin. This is pre-kids. He was just kind of starting out. Sold 1 home in his first 18 months in the business. Sold 27 homes his first 12 months working with me. John came from selling insurance, B2B insurance sales. He sold 30 35 or 36 homes his first 12 months with me. Sharon was on another real estate team. She would do about 10, 12 deals a year. Actually, John went on to sell 122 homes in a single year, 37 his first year. Sharon was at about 10, 12 homes per year with another real estate team. She did about 31, 32 deals her first 12 months using the four pillars that I'm going to go through, and then went on to sell over 100 homes in a single year. Dan Jones got his real estate license to join my team. Was a successful inside sales agent, converted to outside sales, went on his own, built a team just north of my market, and I was his business coach. So he paid me externally as a coach, and he does 300 plus transactions, works I think 24 hours a week at this point. Stacy Peterson, same story, tripled her business, exited production within 6 months of working with me, sold her business for a seven-figure valuation. Dave Friedman never took a vacation before he met me. Relationship was strained, and he takes about 15 weeks of vacation consistently, nets over $1 million. Cody Riddle, traditional agent, doing about 200,000 of GCI when I met her. She's 10x'd her business. I think she's 20x'd her net worth. She does about 2 million GCI. Never took vacation before, and she's consistently taking vacation. Tim Pierce left a failing partnership to go on his own as a solo agent. I think last year they did 120 million or something like that. And he's working, probably 30 hours a week or so. John Mikish, same deal, working like up to his eyeballs in transactions when I met him, and allowed him just to actually physically relocate to Bozeman, Montana from his real estate team, again, just north of me in my market. Ran an amazing business. So I call this now the $1 million agent method. Back then it was, I was just barely getting by, so it didn't have this pretty fancy name and all these, pillars and whatever. I just sort of worked the systems that gave me more leverage. And it started with lead gen, lead conversion, the sales frameworks, and I'll go through all that. But when you think about coming into our world potentially, it's about helping you guys grow and scale your business and your lives. Achieve a level of freedom that you never thought was possible, so that you can live your life at a much different level of meaning, purpose, and impact. So let me dive into these four pillars. And I want you to think about, as I go through these, where do you stack up? Where do you fall short? These are the same systems I use to sell 44 homes with just me and a part-time administrator, to 10xing the business, and I was working 1 day a week. So it doesn't matter to me if you want to sell, 44 homes or if you want to sell 453, it's all the same stuff. So leveraged lead generation is the first pillar. This is the first part is the database touch blueprint is what we call it. Then agent brand authority builder, a snazzy saying for social media. Then we've got 10 other lead gen levers that we built out, so 12 total, but the first two are pretty much non-negotiable: your database blueprint and agent brand authority builder. And then we've got 10 others that you can implement. Can't implement them all, but typically you want to implement a lead gen lever that provides at least one transaction per month. So your database blueprint, agent brand authority builder, one transaction per month from each of those, and then there's implementing another couple if you want to get to 4 transactions per month, and then you can go to 6 and 8 transactions per month. Easy to say, not always the easiest to do, but we've got all the systems built out. Next is the appointment setting process. That's the second pillar. 2 parts here. 90% of folks that if you generate a lead or you have a conversation with somebody, they're not ready to go. So the nurture sequences are more important than the actual appointment setting process. So the script you might use to set an appointment or qualify that appointment, you can do that on 10% of the folks that you talk to, but the 90% is where the money is at. The fortune is in the follow-up, as they say. So all the scripts, all of the email and text sequences, and the lead management, the lead protocol policies, that's the second pillar. The third pillar is what we call consultation frameworks, especially in light of what's going on the with the NAR settlement and the changing rules around buyer compensation. A sales process where you sit down with a buyer before you start showing them homes, and you earn their business and you secure your commission, your transaction fees before you start working for them. a wildly different. 90% of agents just hope there's a co-broke, right? And they don't have a strong consultation process, but all of the presentations, the forms that you'll use, the scripts that you'll use in those consultations. Same thing on the listing side, the pre-list. We've got a pre-buyer appointment packet now. You know how a lot of agents, if they set a listing appointment, they send over a pre-listing packet. We've got a pre-buyer appointment packet. So very much, we've always done it this way. We modified it a little bit with a NAR settlement that came down. But you want to have a process in place where you're listing your buyers just like you're listing your sellers. And then the fourth pillar is really where you start to buy back your time is leverage client care, whether it's hiring a local licensed admin or a virtual assistant or a showing agent or building out your client care process and your workflows and the critical tech tools that you'll need. But you want to underpin all of this with the realization that 80% of the work you'll do is administrative in nature. So it takes 80% of your time, but it does not make you like a level of income that is in line with the work that's being done. So this is like bringing signs out, MLS remarks, entering listings into MLS, ordering inspections, all of the administrative work that goes along with, selling real estate at a high level. So those are the four pillars. So let me get into the specifics of the $1 million agent method. So we have broken down these four pillars. And I would say if you're at the point in your journey where you know that you want to build a business that allows for a separation of the time you put into it versus the income you take out. Right. So we've got, 6 stages that we've identified, 100,000, 500,000, $1 million is our stage 3. So if you want to build a business that allows for complete financial freedom along with time freedom and to bring your stress level down, this program is for you. And I would say in terms of the results that you should expect, this is a 13-week implementation. So this is heavy implementation. And I'll go through the guarantee. There's an income guarantee, $40,000 of gross commission income that we will deliver, or you'll get a complete refund. But you will expect to implement a database touch system, all your social media, including scheduling and calendaring, all of that. We've got 10 other lead gen levers. You'll pick 2. That will implement and all the lead conversion systems and all the sales frameworks, all the presentations. So that's really the nuts and bolts of it. And then we also do the productivity piece where we look at what you're doing every day. And so that's a little bit of what we'll work on, putting all the lead gen levers in place, 4 total: database touch, blueprint, agent brand authority, and 2 others. We'll put all your email and text nurture sequences in place so you can cultivate those leads that aren't ready to go, all the scripts to properly set appointments and qualify appointments with buyers and sellers, the consultation frameworks, which are the pre-list packet, the listing packets, the actual listing presentation, the pre-buyer appointment package, the buyer packets, the buyer presentation, all swipeable, all the templates you get access to in Canva. Everything that you'll put in a packet, you get access to in Canva, completely editable. And then all of the leverage client care, we work out of Trello. So all of the Trello checklists and boards, swipe and deploy. If you're ready to hire a showing agent or a buyer agent or an admin or a VA, even hiring a VA will set you free. We're talking about one of our recent successful clients, and he, within his 90-day implementation, he onboarded a VA to take off all of the 80%. And so he's now, tripled his production simply because we were able to get him to bring on a VA. And we've got a relationship with a company that specializes in VAs for real estate agents that works really closely with us. So in terms of how the program works, this is a 13-week heavy implementation program. Wildly different than anything else you may have been involved in or other programs that you've done. It's you working with someone that's been in the trenches before, that's implemented all of these systems. All of the systems, all of the documents are swipe and deploy. And so once a week, you're going to meet with your implementation coach. Every Thursday, we've got a lead conversion coach that you're going to get trained on how to convert different lead sources, your database or on social chat or, expireds or FISBOs. We do inbound. So we send stuff out and people call us and how to convert those leads. You'll get daily accountability. You will get support from our client care team. And like I mentioned earlier, I have no interest in gaining financially if we don't deliver at least $40,000. So you'll generate an additional, outside of anything you're doing currently, just on the stuff that we're working on, an additional $40,000 of GCI in the next 90 days, or you'll get your entire investment in the program back. And I've got something that I'm going to just reserve for this. And I think we have a time limit on this. As I'm doing this live, it's Wednesday. So I think we're going to shut this thing down on Saturday or Sunday. But the fast action bonus is that we're putting together a 5-part deep dive training on everything you need to handle the NAR settlement and negotiating with buyers, negotiating with listing agents, negotiating with sellers, how to present all of that, all the forms required, all the presentations required, all the scripting required, the mindset required, and there's mastermind sessions involved in that as well. So 5 hours of deep dive training just on the NAR settlement. That training, that 5-part series, will earn you tens of thousands of dollars. And that's above and beyond this $40,000 GCI guarantee. Just being able to navigate and get paid on the buyer side consistently and do that with confidence, that's above and beyond probably what you'll do just on the 40K in the core program. So when it comes down to it, I want to put you in a position where you're asking the right questions and you're working on getting the answers. So are you taking advantage of low cost, high return lead gen levers? Are you using marketing and tech leverage at the highest level? Are your lead management and nurture systems set up properly for that 90%? Do you have a system to offload any low dollar productive activities to a VA? Something as simple as a VA that's making $4 per hour, right? Do you have a way to offload those activities? Can you cut expenses without hurting your business? And are you working ultimately too many hours without any financial upside? So not only is growth possible, it's highly, highly predictable. So if this is not a hard sell, this is not, you've got to do this or, you might as well quit the industry. We want folks that are business minded, hence real estate business builders. My passion is helping agents set up systems that allow their business to run more smoothly so they can detach time and money, make an unreasonable amount of money in a reasonable amount of time. Go to milliondollaragentmethod.com. If you've seen enough, the 7-minute video is probably a repeat of some of this. You can watch that 7-minute video over there, but there's a button to book in a strategy session. There's a few questions to answer, and go ahead and book in a strategy session. And that process of going on, having a business growth strategy session, it's not a high pressure sell situation. It's looking at your business and breaking it up and seeing if where you're at and where you want to go, if we can help you bridge that gap. If we can, we'll talk about it. If you're a good fit for Million Dollar Agent Method, we'll talk about it. If you're not, that's totally cool. So much love, much respect. I will see you on the inside. Y'all be good.